Tonight, Whyalla residents have their say on the future of the Beach Cafe, and police investigating a spate of car fires in Broken Hill.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. The closure of Whyalla's Beach Cafes brought hundreds of locals together at a community forum last night. Senator Rex Patrick also attending, with most rallying for the cafe to reopen in some form.
A hot topic which brought in a large crowd. Hundreds of Whyalla community members taking a seat to hear council's reasoning for closing the local beach cafe.
I think it's very clear that the cafe needs work, and that's the reason why we have made the decision at the time to close it.
The Mayor and Council CEO addressed the forum, saying the decision to close the cafe was legally necessary. Council also outlining future options, including renovating the building, opening a kiosk or building a new structure. State MP Eddie Hughes and Senator Rex Patrick also taking the stand, with Mr Patrick presenting the Mayor with a signed petition.
With the 1,600 people that signed my petition, about 1,300 from Whyalla, and a turnout of hundreds tonight, I think the message is pretty clear to the council. There needs to be a Whyalla Beach Cafe.
Nick Petropoulos, the businessman running the cafe prior to its shut, says the response and support from locals has been overwhelming.
I'm very, very, very happy and very emotional that I am. See so many people today, and all come here together for the best outcome.
Members of the public also lining up to question council staff.
We want the cafeteria with the coffee machine.
I think it's very obvious that the community have spoken and they want an answer to the cafe situation as quickly as possible.
Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Broken Hill police are warning of the dangers vehicle fires can pose after 2 were destroyed in blazes overnight. In one case, a man raced to alert his neighbours as a car burnt at the end of their driveway.
An orange glow lights the sky as flames tear through this Volkswagen.
Flames probably about 5 or so metres high and lots of smoke, and the grass was on fire here.
Axel waking up his neighbours while the car burned at the end of their driveway.
Best if they woken up by phone call as opposed to lights and burning flames and things like that.
Police allege it was stolen from Fisher Street shortly before it was found alight in Garnett Street around 3 o'clock this morning. They say recent incidents are not believed to be linked, and there's been no significant spike in this type of crime.
We've responded to 2 vehicle fires for 2021, which is an insignificant amount. Obviously of concern to us in the community when such crime occurs.
Fire crews also responded to a car fire in Duff Street at 10:30 last night. The fire is not believed to be suspicious.
The flames were lapping up under the eaves of the house, which became very dangerous. The quick action of the firefighters last night prevented it from going too far into the house.
Police say securing your property is the best way to stop yourself from becoming a victim.
Remain vigilant and really we encourage the community to really report anything that is suspicious in their street or in their local area and contact the police at the time.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
SA Health is issuing a warning to South Australians to avoid exposure to mosquitoes after a potentially deadly virus was detected in the Murray Valley. The Murray Valley encephalitis virus and Kunjun virus was found in a chicken during routine monitoring. Infected persons may be asymptomatic or present symptoms such as fever, headache or nausea. We're just 2 weeks into 2021 and Broken Hill has recorded its first dust storm of the year. Strong winds pushing dust towards the city around 4:30 yesterday afternoon. The city plunged into a sea of orange, while wind gusts of up to 80 kilometres per hour were recorded at the airport. Branches and debris fell on some roads, with most of it cleared by this morning. The worst of the storm lasted roughly an hour. Wearing face masks is now mandatory for anyone visiting airports across South Australia. Port Augusta Council urging airport staff, passengers and crew to mask up, with those refusing to barred from entering the terminal.
Masking up to board our regional aircraft.
we urge people arrive and be prepared to wear a mask at the airport.
South Australia's government implementing mandatory mask use at all state airports and for those travelling through Broken Hill.
The airport is the following of the directions from the state government, and we understand they may change from time to time, but whatever they are, then we'll expect people to follow those directions.
With many travelling to regional areas and across the border for work, safety is fast becoming a top priority.
We want everyone to be as safe and secure as possible, and we don't want anyone to be getting into trouble. We know that you may not be able to socially distance on an aircraft, so it's important that you wear a mask to protect yourself and to protect others.
In a statement, SA Health says exemptions are in place for those with relevant medical conditions, those whose mouth needs to be visible for essential communication and eating or drinking. Children under the age of 12 are also exempt. South Australia Police says it relies on communities to do the right thing, with those who refuse to wear a mask facing a $1,060 fine. The simple message to all South Australians: no mask, no entry. Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Still to come tonight, coronavirus restrictions keeping Broken Hill event organisers on edge. And new figures show a spike in aeromedical retrievals. Welcome back. Organisers of Broken Hill's 2 biggest events remain optimistic about their future, despite coronavirus restrictions. But border uncertainty and capacity limits are making it hard to know how many people will be able to attend.
After a difficult 12 months for community events, some welcome relief for the St Pat's races. Racing capacity limits scrapped in favour of density rules,
which we believe will easily accommodate 3,000 or more people.
While changing restrictions have been good for some, organisers of the Broken Hill Festival still don't know how many tickets they'll be able to sell. If held today, just 1/3 of the usual outdoor capacity will be allowed.
So it's quite a lot under what we were hoping, certainly wanting to get to those numbers again and probably growing the event further.
New South Wales health guidelines allow 1 person per 2 square metres for outdoor performances. Esther at this stage has to find more space or sell fewer tickets, putting pressure on an already tight schedule.
Our event is now in September, that's only 9 months away. This is a time now where we're usually putting deposits on all of our artists.
Both events taking a punt on people actually being able to get there.
It is a bit of a gamble from a race club perspective that we are hoping that the borders are open.
And both well aware of how quickly things can change. Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
New University of South Australia figures have revealed an alarming spike in medical evacuations undertaken by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Researchers say as COVID restrictions ease, aeromedical retrievals have increased.
Soaring through the skies at a rate like never before as demand takes off.
Royal Flying Doctor Service did the first aeromedical retrieval in the world in early February, and since then our activity has grown an awful lot.
Sobering figures released by UniSA reveals while COVID restrictions ease, medical evacuations in remote regions have dramatically risen.
We were sort of playing catch up, I believe, to conditions that developed during the COVID lockdown.
Experts say more than 230 patients suspected of having COVID were rushed to medical facilities during last year, putting financial strain on the service.
The Commonwealth Government and the state governments and private donors just rallied behind us. But without that support of the federal and private donors, we would have been in a lot of trouble.
The study also found an alarming spike with the number of adults being transported for heart conditions post-lockdown. It's a stat researchers say caught them off guard.
I was surprised to see more severe heart attacks.
Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Local anglers have welcomed the news 150,000 baby snapper will be released into Spencer Gulf to boost declining stock numbers. They're hoping the ban on fishing for them could be lifted early. However, the minister in charge remains tight-lipped.
A desperate bid to replenish stocks, thousands of these baby snapper will fight against all odds. The initiative giving local fishers a much-needed morale boost.
Yeah, I think there's huge benefits. Society guys have obviously perfected this process now, and they should be able to build on it and expand on it, and it's going to be a good thing moving forward.
The first round of stock is set to be released in Ardrossan next week. Both Spencer Golf and the Golf St Vincent will each receive a share.
And we'll be able to release those 300,000 fingerlings back into the two Golfs with 150,000 in each.
Port Pirie fishers are thrilled with the initiative, but warn time will tell if the effort has been successful.
It's going to take years to realise any benefit, obviously, if there is any. But, to have more snapper in the water is a good thing.
Despite holding high hopes, it's uncertain if this program will help lift the snapper fishing ban early.
The stock's being assessed on an annual basis, and we'll listen to that to see how the stock numbers are going.
I don't know that it'll necessarily lift the ban earlier, but more snapper in the water is going to be a good thing for everybody.
For now, the snapper fishing ban will remain in place. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us, a new round of federal government grants on offer. And the Ceduna Racers going around the world via social media. Community groups can now apply for funding through Round 6 of the federal government's Stronger Communities program. The money helping organisations upgrade their equipment and facilities.
From old to new, the Whyalla Hockey Association receiving $20,000 through a previous round of the Stronger Communities program.
I'm very happy. It's a huge amount of money for us to finish our project.
The money spent fixing the club room's kitchen area and bar, upgrades which Tony says has helped the association in many ways.
We've been able to open up bistro meals on a Friday night through a chef. We've been able to employ another person to work the bar for us.
A new round is now available and the federal member for Grey is calling for local community members to apply. He says more than 90 organisations across the Grey electorate have shared a combined $750,000 worth of support.
For church groups, for swimming pools, for schools, for all kinds of sporting clubs, all kinds of organisations.
A maximum of 20 projects will be funded in each electorate, with grants of up to $20,000 available. Applications open next Tuesday and close on the 19th of February. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Port Augusta residents will soon receive a new kitchen caddy for their food and organic waste. The City Council initiative is aimed at reducing the amount of produce that ends up in landfill.
It's the little green bin playing a big role in keeping the city waste-free.
Well, it's part of the green initiative that we have that's looking at environmental aspects of our waste management, so to reduce our landfill costs and to reduce the amount of waste going into landfill.
Beginning January 18, City Council will be distributing around 6,000 food and garden organic kitchen caddies to homes across Port Augusta and Stirling North.
They'll be able to put their organic waste in their green waste bin, so that'll be collected on a fortnightly basis along with their weeds and their trimmings and things like that.
Environmental group KeySab welcoming the community's decision to jump on board with the initiative.
It's a fantastic initiative for councils to get on board with. What it does is it encourages people to dispose of their food waste into a very easy to use, convenient, clean caddy right in their kitchen, and then that waste goes straight into the organics bin.
Residents are asked to contact council to arrange for the product to be delivered to their door.
But if you don't get one, then by all means contact council and we'll arrange for one to be done once the rollout's finished.
Katrina Musson, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Preparations are well underway for this weekend's Ceduna Cup, with visitors from across the region expected to head west. This year's event will make history, with the race to be live streamed for the first time.
Hitting the track for the first time this year.
The town has actually been looking very closely at us to try and host this event so that people can finally get out, socialise and enjoy each other's company and have a good day out, for the community.
Organisers working around the clock to prepare the track for this weekend's Ceduna Cup. The race day, a tourism goldmine, with more than 1,000 racegoers expected to flood into the regional town.
We're expecting people right across the Eyre Peninsula and possibly even Adelaide, or including Adelaide.
It'll be the first meet for the West Coast racing season after the annual Ceduna Christmas race was axed due to coronavirus fears.
It was a difficult decision to cancel the Christmas races, but as far as we're concerned, we were going to do everything we could to hold our cup races, and we're just delighted to be able to do that.
Organisers also getting creative with the event to be live streamed for the first time in its history.
This is an absolute first for South Australia for non-TAB racing, and we have to move with the times. It gives a great chance for people that can't be there to see the action.
Gates open this Saturday at 10:30. Nathan Regter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. We check what's biting in the Spencer Golf this weekend. And Alex will have the latest weather details. Hello again. Time to check what fish are biting in the Spencer Golf this weekend. Here's our fishing experts with their tips.
G'day and welcome to another year of fishing tips from Port Augusta to Jewel of the North. Well, the crabs have been very quiet at the moment, not a real lot of catches, but the tip is there, stay a little bit deeper and leave those nets in for about 10 minutes on the first pull, then you should get a nice little feed. There's been some flathead getting caught from people trying to get silver whiting down on the shacks and also over in the mouth of the creeks around Patterson, and some salmon trout around there too. It's been the odd kingfish getting sighted, not a lot getting caught, but try around that old powerhouse. That's all we have for the Jewel of the North.
Hi, welcome back to Whalers Fishing Report this week. If you've been lucky enough to get out in between the gaps of the wind, there has been some nice squid still running down halfway between the Mount Young and Whyalla grounds. Around the 2.5 to 3 metres of water, work the grounds and you'll find squid in good numbers. Land-based across Whyalla, been some nice garfish down along the old bus in between Point Lowly and Fitzgerald Bay. And also there's been some nice schools of salmon coming again from the Becky Point area.
G'day and welcome to Fishing Tips in Port Lincoln. Well, there's been a lot of boating activity lately and we've had quite a few reports coming in. Whiting have been a little bit hit and miss locally, but there've been some good fish down at Thistle Island. Whiting have been caught through the farm beach grounds, especially up towards Gallipoli and in the slightly deeper water. There's also been a few gummy sharks and a few nice garfish in that area as well. Our south coast beaches have held some salmon, around about that 2 to 3 kilo size.
And with a look at the weekend weather, here's Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John. It's certainly shaping up to be a lovely weekend too. More on that later. From 3 p.m. today, Port Augusta and Woodner both had sunny conditions and top 27. It was partly cloudy in Cleve, 23 degrees. Cooper Pedy reached 35, partly cloudy conditions there. Broken Hill got to a high of 29. Port Pirie sunny, 25. Caddys and Whyalla both mostly sunny and reached 23. Woodner sunny and 27 degrees. Partly cloudy in Port Lincoln and reached 25 degrees there and 22 in Adelaide. Taking a look at the satellite now, cloud crossing central and eastern parts of SA with a weak trough, generating areas of patchy light rain. Skies are mostly clear in the south and far north with drier winds. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Winds south to southwesterly 10 to 15 knots, seas around 1 metre and south to southwesterly swell below 1 metre. And mainly fine heading into the weekend. Port Lincoln and Cleve both 20 degrees, Woodner 25, becoming windy and partly cloudy in Whyalla 22, Port Augusta 24 degrees there, Caddys a degree cooler with 23. Port Pirie 24, clear to reach a top of 20, and sunny conditions in Broken Hill set to reach a high of 27. Taking a look further through the week now, and Saturday is looking to be mainly fine across the region with temperatures mostly in the mid to high 20s, 29 in Cooper Pedy, sunny and 26 in Broken Hill, and if you're heading to Adelaide it'll be 23 there. Heating up slightly on Sunday, but windy conditions in the upper Spencer Gulf region, sunny in Cooper Pedy 32, 29 in Broken Hill, Port Augusta, Woodner and Port Pirie all tops of 28. Similar conditions on Monday, windy and 28 in Port Augusta and Port Pirie, 29 in Woodner, sunny in both Broken Hill and Cooper Pedy. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Back to you, John.
Thanks, Alex. And that's the local news this Thursday evening. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.